I recently presented at the Asia Risk and Resilience Conference in Singapore on the topic of duty of care, travel risk management, travel safety, what it really means and what makes sense from a corporate perspective. As with all the other subject matter experts, I provided an overview of my experience, qualifications and expertise in this area. Everyone present was aware of or used international standards such as ISO 9001, ISO 4501 and ISO 31000. As the only qualified lead auditor in integrated management systems, I also provide insight on compliance and conformance issues associated with these standards as it relates to travel health, safety, security and risk management. Attendees were made aware of the varying international and domestic laws. Everyone was very clear that there is a choice of trusting providers and salespeople or demonstrating legal and standards compliance and conformance. No one trusted the former. I spoke about duty of care being a random phrase selected by marketers and providers to compel buyers into purchasing, but I demonstrated how it was a useless corporate term and where it sits on the hierarchy of compliance. Once everyone was clear on the origins of the term, it was self-evident how ridiculous the term was, and only unqualified marketers and sellers used this expression. All the corporates agreed to the use of facts over opinions and marketer sales lines. I then focused in on the real issue of travel safety management for businesses and managers. I covered off on the only valid international standards and conformance requirements. Everyone with any safety experience was familiar and identified with a comparison with job safety assessments. The same applied for safety-based journey management plans. Evidence of safe work systems, not memberships or subscriptions, was clear to all. This was further supported with a revision of the hierarchy of controls, demonstrating policy as one of the lowest and laziest forms as viewed by courts and professionals. We explored routine individual competencies within the workplace and how it relates to travel safety and risk management also. It was clear to all the necessity of producing, keeping and managing individual travel safety reports and assessments, not group, country or one-size-fits-all information. Not surprisingly, despite widespread lack of awareness, there is no exemption for safety and risk management for mobility or travel. Safety prosecutions are criminal prosecutions in many jurisdictions, as I reminded everyone. I spoke about the dual prosecution and claims channel available for affected business travellers. Brand resilience was also touched upon. We then dived into real compliance and evidence-based risk management as it applies to business travel. I noted the key standards, laws and decision-making references. Context was explained and emphasised. Most importantly, the essentials of compliant risk assessments for travellers was covered. Risk treatment was also explained. Specific requirements for monitoring and review of safe work systems for travel was explored. Again, no exemptions for mobility or business travel. We then debunked travel security as a made-up sales and marketing term with no legal or compliance basis domestically or internationally. Clarification on compliance and conformity was provided. I then walked attendees through a 5-point action plan for travel health, safety, security and risk management. This was well received and appreciated by compliance and risk management present. In light of the content of the presentation, many had a newfound concern. The floor was then opened up for questions. That concluded my presentation at the Asia Risk and Resilience Conference in Singapore on the topic of duty of care, travel risk management, travel safety, and what does it really mean and what makes sense from a corporate risk perspective.